Tonight, an innocent grandfather killed in a head-on smash after another driver's baffling high-speed sprint up the wrong side of Port Wakefield Road.
He was just a lovely, lovely man. It's senseless what's happened, it really is.
Another maverick move by Corey Bernardi, joining forces with Family First in a bid to shake the state Liberals. Staff from the disgraced Oakton aged care facility cleared of police charges, but now the federal government's being given a case to answer. And from hamstrung to full run, the Crows play coy over whether Daniel Talia will be fit for a top-of-the-table clash.
This is 10 Eyewitness News, first at 5, with Kate Freebairn.
Good evening. A driver hooning up the wrong side of Port Wakefield Road is believed to have caused a head-on crash which killed both him and an innocent man on his way to work. The sedan had been engaged in the senseless sprint for at least 16 kilometres, forcing other drivers to dodge it and to try frantically to warn people coming the other way. Hannah Ford reports.
Coming around a bend on a 100k stretch of road, the ute driver had nowhere to go. Ambulances and a helicopter retrieval team were called, but neither driver could be saved.
So this is a tragic set of circumstances. We've got 2 people that are now deceased. The flow-on effect for that with families, friends, colleagues, etc. is huge.
The green Camry is believed to have been travelling on the wrong side of Port Wakefield Road at Two Wells. Other drivers forced to dodge the car just minutes before the 6 a.m. crash.
A few seconds later, and I probably would have hit him as I came onto the highway.
The 31-year-old Camry driver had travelled that way for at least 16.5 kilometres from the Northern Expressway.
There was a car flashing its lights and I didn't know why. And then when I looked forward again, there was a car coming down my side heading towards me on the wrong side of the highway.
You feel very hopeless because I was on the other side of the road, so then I immediately alerted whoever I could on the CB radio.
The driver of the ute was a 56-year-old father and grandfather from nearby Webb Beach, simply on his way to work.
He was a hell of a nice bloke, a really nice bloke. He was a pleasure to talk to, and the whole of Webb Beach is in shock.
Major crash officers remain unsure as to why the car was on the wrong side of the road, but they will investigate whether drugs or alcohol were contributing factors.
He was just a lovely, lovely man. It's senseless what's happened, it really is.
Hannah Ford, 10 Eyewitness News.
Political foes have labelled Senator Corey Bernardi's amalgamation of his Australian Conservative Party with Family First a masterstroke. After previously quashing suggestions his eyes are on the state election, the outspoken MP's team will now chase disillusioned Conservatives in 2018. Brett Clappers reports.
Family First, Friends run a close second.
Over many, many years we talked about, maybe the hope of working together one day.
It seems that the stars are finally aligned to allow that to happen, so we're excited about it.
After 16 years, the Family First name, its members and resources now belong under one banner, Senator Corey Bernardi's Australian Conservatives Party.
The voters will ultimately render their verdicts, but the principles upon which we subscribe are absolutely rock solid and common.
And voters get their first chance at South Australia's state election next March, where the marriage has gifted the party 2 upper house seats.
The silent majority of people are fed up. They're sick of the political correctness. They're sick of a flip-flop government and a lot of populism.
Merger talks began when the senator left the Liberal Party in February. The Family First brand began suffering soon after. The High Court ruling earlier this month that Bob Day's election was invalid due to a financial conflict of interest.
We need to acknowledge there have been problems at a federal level.
But Mr Day's replacement, Lucy Gashui, will now sit as an independent, saying she hasn't had time to determine whether joining best serves her voters. Senator Bernardi intends to work with her and all parties.
Does that include One Nation?
That includes anyone, and I mean that quite seriously.
Including Nick Xenophon, who predicts the new party will steal Liberal votes in SA while his team chases middle ground.
It is a masterstroke by Corey Bernardi.
We plan to win the next election in our own right. That's what's in the best interest of South Australia.
And Senator Bernardi believes his Conservative movement is only just starting to gather steam.
I hope it's not the last amalgamation. I welcome minor parties, I welcome former colleagues, existing colleagues.
Brett Clappers, 10 Eyewitness News.
Monarto Zoo is mourning the sudden death of a young southern white rhino. 18-month-old Tundu died from internal blood loss yesterday, most likely from a traumatic injury. Zoo vets say a preliminary examination indicates it's possible she'd become wedged between two older rhinos during rough play. They say the animals normally get along well, and so the death is a shock. Tundu was one of 5 southern white rhinos to have been born at Monarto. A court has been told the ex-girlfriend of the Salt Creek kidnapper is unreliable and mentally ill as he stands trial for her alleged rape. Lawyers for the 60-year-old have asked a judge to find him not guilty, claiming the woman was simply a scorned lover upset over her relationship ending. Prosecutors say that doesn't mean she's a liar. The accused did not give evidence. The judge has reserved her decision. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull will meet with US President Donald Trump in New York next week to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Battle of the Coral Sea. The White House keen to point out how important the meeting is after a disastrous first phone call between the pair. Jonathan Lee reports.
In Donald Trump's own words, it was the worst phone call by far. A dud deal done on refugees. Making the overnight announcement, Malcolm Turnbull will meet and stand beside him on the deck of a famed US aircraft carrier, a sight to see.
The President looks forward to meeting the Prime Minister and to showcasing the enduring bonds, deep friendship and close alliance the United States has with Australia.
The PM tweeting, "I'm delighted to travel to the US to meet with the President of the United States," putting his budget preparations on the back burner.
There is something of chemistry when two people meet face to face.
And I hope for the nation's sake that meeting goes well.
The pair commemorating the 75th anniversary of the Battle of the Coral Sea, where the Allies turned back a Japanese invasion force off the coast of Queensland. Bilateral meetings between the leaders will focus on North Korea, former PM Paul Keating advising Australia to keep its distance.
One thing not to do with the Americans is keep bowing down. This is just bad behaviour.
The despotic regime has refrained from a 6th nuclear test, but couldn't resist a demonstration of firepower.
If America doesn't stop its aggression against us and pressure on us, then we'll never have any good image of America. It will only get worse.
In South Korea, demonstrators protested against the arrival of a US missile defence shield. As the two nations conducted their own exercises, rockets, fighter planes and attack helicopters lighting up the mountainside. Former UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon warning.
The world is moving closer to nuclear annihilation.
An ominous message from those who seek peace. Jonathan Lee, 10 Eyewitness News.
Traffic restrictions are still in place after an early morning water main burst at Rostrevor. A 2-metre gusher was reported on the corner of St Bernard's Road and Horwood Avenue just after 5:30 this morning. SA Water responded in under an hour, but almost 50 customers were left without water for 5 hours. Work is still being done to repair the road. A wintry night battered power infrastructure across Adelaide. A tree which fell at Paradise took out a brush fence as well as power lines on Darley Road, cutting supply to the local area. The force of the wind combined with the wet ground saw 2 Stobie poles fall over on Sir Donald Bradman Drive at Lockleys, forcing police to direct peak hour traffic. And similar traffic problems were created by another power line toppling at Newton during the morning commute. And we've also just had the coldest day in Adelaide in 6 months. Jodie Oddie joins us with the weather for the rest of this week. Jodie, not many of us wanted to get out from under that quilt this morning.
Oh, indeed, Kate. It has been very chilly across Adelaide today, but not inside this beautiful Metricon home. And the great news is absolutely anyone can own it, and it is worth a whopping $1.6 million. That is $1.6 million. And it is all part of the MS Game Changer Lottery. That's kicked off today. And there's the very difficult choice of this sumptuous Metricon home, or you can choose $1.5 million in cold, hard cash. That's their biggest grand prize ever. There's also the $270,000 early bird prize. And if that's not enough, there's also a selection of dream holidays, luxury cars, adventure prizes and more. Now, every ticket has a 1 in 15 chance to win. And of course, it's all to benefit the MS Society, who do an outstanding job.
We provide services such as physio, occupational therapy, nursing, social welfare and other allied health, and you can pick up a ticket at msgamechanger.com.au.
As I mentioned, yesterday's cold front has given us a chilly blast and a decent bout of rain overnight too. It's moved across Tasmania and Victoria today. We're looking at possible showers for the rest of the week. Now, Kate, I'm not sure if you can see the grand bedroom behind me. It's got ensuite and a walk-in wardrobe. That's mine, obviously, but I'll sort you out a little spare room for when you pop over to stay. But I'll be back with all the weather details at 5 to 6. Joes, I think I'll be kicking you out of that one pretty quickly. But what's happening in sport?
Hello, Kate. Nice to see you. Well, lots of footy news around tonight. We'll have an update on Nathan Buckley's coaching future. Also, no joshing why crunch time is approaching for big Josh Jenkins.
I think he might have a little run around today. And he's just said before, he's been getting up to a pretty good speed. So I think that's one we'll just assess tomorrow.
And talk about a freestyle home run. A Toronto Blue Jay does his best Superman in the Major League. Very cool indeed, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, Bucks. Still to come, frustration as police nab a growing number of long weekend drivers under the influence. The lead police hope will solve one of the world's most baffling child abduction cases. And a softly spoken singer taking a little bit of Australia to Eurovision.
It will be the most extraordinary season of MasterChef ever.
What is that?
Incredible.
You are a bit of a freak.
Yum.
The flavours are just absolutely booming.
You'll be cooking my firecracker.
Oh my God. This season is on a whole new level.
You're going to take part in some of the biggest challenges ever seen. Can you believe it? It's floating ice cream.
MasterChef premieres 7:30 Monday.
Comebacks. Aussies can't get enough of them. Like double denim. Who would have thought? Stephen Bradbury. You're kidding. And budgie smugglers. Why? But there's one comeback all Aussies will love. It's the return of Bega cheese and Heinz tomato ketchup Smith's chips back in all their saucy, cheesy glory. Smiths, you know you love them. Chippies! Ah.
You know, you only get one body, and it needs to be looked after. Apia Health Insurance is especially designed for the over 50s. Call Apia and switch today.
It's back, $9.90. A crispy Mediterranean pizza base, Napoli sauce, your choice of 4 delicious toppings, $9.90 at Primo. Where are you going for your next meal? I know, Primo.
Soothers soothe any number of sore throats. Like number 8, the everyone at work has its sore throat. Yes, Janice, we know you started it. Or number 4, the talking over loud music sore throat. 17, the screaming at the ref sore throat. 68, the Godfather. 31, the karaoke marathon sore throat. You're not killing it, you're murdering it. With its medicated vitamin C tasty goodness, Soothers soothes any number of sore throats. Pop one in your gob.
Allington's new season stock is here. We're unpacking all the latest winter wear with up to 20% off the best brands in the country. That's right, up to 20% off. Allington's new season country clothing and western wear, in-store and online.
Fly straight to Cooter. Pick up your scooter.
Check out our hot beach deals at Flight Centre. Fly return to Bali with Jetstar and stay 7 nights 4-star from only $805.
Best in the air. And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Drop into your local IGA today for the gigantic sale. Don't miss this week's half-price specials. Plus loads more savings right across the store.
At the Posturcare Chair Company, we understand that you deserve true comfort. That's why we take at least 20 individual measurements to give you a truly tailor-made chair. Whether you're elderly, you have a specific health condition, or just require total relaxation, our unique chairs are made to your exact body measurements and come with a 100% comfort guarantee. Tailor-made chairs, comfort guaranteed, $400 trade-in, shop at home. There's no comparison to a Posturcare chair. A chair for every budget. Call the Posturcare Chair Company now.
Oh, hello. Over time, BP Ultimate eats up the dirt that clogs your engine like 1,000 ravenous piranhas. It busts dirt in just 2 tanks.
Get ready for a Family Feud showdown.
Sudden death time.
The pressure doesn't get higher than this.
There's only one answer to the board this time.
So who will take home the win?
Name something that grows on a vine.
Find out next on 10.
Tonight, the Coalition MP who says our national anthem needs an update. So is it time to advance Australia Fair? That's funny.
Ivanka Trump has been booed at a women's event in Berlin for defending her father's attitude towards women. The first daughter was answering questions on a panel alongside German Chancellor Angela Merkel and International Monetary Fund boss Christine Lagarde when she was asked about the US president.
He's been a tremendous champion of supporting families and enabling them to thrive in the new reality of you had to hear the reaction from the audience.
Ivanka played down the incident, saying it's all politics. London police say they've ruled out 4 more suspects as they continue to investigate the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. But they say they're still pursuing one important lead, which could provide an answer. 3-year-old Maddie vanished from her hotel bedroom during a family holiday in Portugal. The 3rd of May marks 10 years since the disappearance. 10 people have been arrested after the so-called robbery of the century at a private security company in Paraguay. Dozens of gunmen stormed the building, blowing a huge hole in the wall to access millions of dollars in cash. They then firebombed cars to help cover their tracks heading across the border in Brazil. The vaults store up to $532 million, but authorities haven't confirmed exactly how much was taken. An electronic fitness tracker has proven to be very unhealthy for a US man who claimed an intruder killed his wife. Richard Debate told police he and his wife Connie were attacked in their Connecticut home by a tall, obese man wearing a mask. However, detectives found readings from Connie's Fitbit showing she was alive and moving around an hour after her husband claimed she'd been killed. He's now been charged with her murder. A softly spoken country kid from the border of Victoria and New South Wales is about to find himself centre stage at the world's brashest music contest. Angela Bishop caught up with Isaiah Firebrace, who's all set to represent Australia at Eurovision.
He's the 17-year-old from a tiny New South Wales town carrying the hopes of Australia into the biggest singing competition in the world. And incredibly, he doesn't find the thought of performing before millions of people at all daunting.
It just makes me that much more excited. And
Isaiah becomes the 3rd Australian to compete at the Eurovision Song Contest and follows the amazing performance of fellow X Factor winner Dami Im last year. The singer won the jury vote and came 2nd overall. But on a positive note, Isaiah's entry was written and produced by the same team.
to me, it represents never giving up on your dreams, and especially in this industry, you got to make a lot of sacrifices, and nothing comes easy, nothing comes cheap, and you got to work really hard.
In an interesting twist, there is another Aussie in the running this year. Anja Nissen, who won rival reality show The Voice, is competing for Denmark, thanks to her Danish parents. But Isaiah might need to be more worried about the Italian entry.
I'm looking forward to seeing Italy because they have a dancing gorilla on stage. So that should be very fun to watch.
He flies to Ukraine on Thursday. Angela Bishop, 10 Eyewitness News.
A Chinese zoo has released images of its 2 rapidly growing white tiger cubs born earlier this month. Staff have had to bottle feed the twins because their mum couldn't nurse them. Their weight has almost doubled since they were born. They're now a healthy 2 kilos and have plenty of energy. There are only 200 Bengali white tigers left in the world. After the break, the simple diet with us all along, now believed to be the key to healthy ageing. Why a new Logie is on loan to a pub. And movie fans go into meltdown as Disney releases the dates of 3 hotly anticipated flicks.
Collingwood legend so big, the other guests are starstruck.
Instead I can touch him.
What's going on up there?
Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine.
People were growing up, crime didn't pay.
No, only crime pays.
A massive Graham Norton. 7:30 tonight on 10.
4.
Shut up and take my money.
Straight down the middle. It went straight down the middle. Then it started to hook just a wee.
Harvey Norman computer mega deals are now, with 20% off HP laptops, 2-in-1s, desktops and all-in-ones in stock. Power-packed HP 15-inch laptop with Intel Core i7 processor now just $778. That's 20% off. HP laptop with Intel Pentium processor and massive 8GB RAM, just $458. That's 20% off. 20% off HP computers in stock, in-store and online, now at Harvey Norman. Your destination for everything HP. Hurry, ends Monday.
The average traveller visits loads of different websites before booking their hotel. That's fair enough. You want to make sure you get a great hotel for the best price. There are so many websites out there. How can you visit them all? Well, before you book, check on Trivago. Trivago instantly compares prices from more than 250 websites and apps. And that's how Trivago finds your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
Hey Drew, what's your cheapest pizza?
Our top quality value pizzas are just $5 online.
Cool. I'll have an Americano.
Smart choice. And I thought I was the pizza genius.
Value pizza's even easier with Drew Assist from Domino's.
Help! At Classic Timber Furniture, we're renovating and we need more space. So to make some room, we're offering great savings throughout both stores. Dining, bedroom, lounge, outdoor and homewares. Don't miss Classic Timber Furniture's amazing renovation sale.
Ships of War, a new die-cast model collection. Bismarck, Hood, the Prince of Wales. Detailed hand-decorated models. Issue 1 with a Japanese legend, Yamato, only $5.99. On sale also, military vehicle collection. Issue 1 with General Rommel's armoured carrier.
Two legends together at last. KFC marinated in Tabasco sauce.
Sick and tired of the same cold and flu season routine? Ethical Nutrients' exclusive immune defence may help reduce the severity and duration of colds and flu and relieve symptoms naturally. Ethical Nutrients, we can help you.
Naked Rugs a million.
Just arrived, the latest look worth $450, now $199. From the latest classics to the softest shaggies from $50. Make it yours now. Online, in-store now.
Naked Rugs a million.
The challenges will be unlike anything you've ever seen. MasterChef premieres 7:30 Monday.
The big switch is on to Studio 10.
You won't see this on the other networks.
And we just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for choosing to watch our heated debates, even when you disagree with us. And thanks for laughing at our crazy antics. If you haven't made the switch, click over to Studio 10 and see what all the fuss is about.
Disney has announced release dates for 3 hotly anticipated movies, including the final instalment in the original Star Wars franchise. The as-yet unnamed Episode 9 will debut in cinemas in May 2019. That's 17 months after Episode 8, The Last Jedi, which opens this December. In between, there'll be a standalone Han Solo movie. Frozen 2 will be out in November 2019, and the live-action remake of The Lion King will arrive in July 2019. Newly minted dual Logie winner Samuel Johnson has put one of his gongs on loan to his local pub to raise money for his sister's cancer charity. Candice Wyatt has the story.
Samuel Johnson is finally having a break. He has been in a whirlwind since he took home the gold and a silver Logie on Sunday.
It hasn't sunk in yet. I'm still on cloud 9.
Now he's parting with one of his Logies, which he says have become like children.
Said, let's put them to work. Are they going to be good little fundraisers like Daddy?
He's lending the silver statue to his favourite pub, the Brunswick Hotel, all in the name of charity.
Anything he can do to help Love Your Sister, or I can do to help Love Your Sister, is a bonus for them.
The idea behind the fundraiser is simple. Come in, snap a selfie with the Logie and even Molly's gold hat, if you like, and then make a donation to Love Your Sister by popping some money in the jar.
Keeping these guys here for a couple of weeks is a thank you to the pub, who have been fundraising hardcore.
If the Logie gets stolen, the pub has to donate 50 cents from every beer sale to Love Your Sister for the rest of its life.
If someone did come and pinch him, it'd do a lot when it comes to curing cancer, because I've done an insurance deal that's pretty tight.
Richie says he'll be keeping a close eye on it. Love Your Sister was born after Samuel's sister Connie was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. It hopes to raise $10 million, and it's almost halfway there.
Oh, before this Logie's madness, we were at 4.05 million, and we're well over 4.5 now.
So if you've ever wanted to have a beer with a Logie and help fight cancer, head to the Brunny. Candice Wyatt, 10 Eyewitness News.
The secret to holding back the worst effects of ageing might well have been hidden in some of our tastiest dishes all along. New research revealing a Mediterranean diet holds the key to beating the clock. Elisa Throden reports.
When life's this good, there's every reason to want to keep living it. Colin Dibbs and his wife spend most days like this, and despite their age, they haven't felt so healthy in years.
When I stopped working and retired was exercise. My weight fell about 10 kilos.
But for many older Australians, life isn't a beach. Now experts say a Mediterranean-style diet, rich in vegetables, oily fish, olive oil and nuts, gives the best hope of living a long, illness-free life.
I don't want us to live to 200. I'd rather we lived to 80 or 90 or 85 and sort of drop dead on the day.
How dieting slows the effects of ageing is being explored by researchers at the University of Sydney. They say even periods of starvation could help people live longer.
It would certainly make it feel like you were living a great deal longer. It's a miserable way to live your life, I would think.
To get the benefits of fasting, not snacking between meals is a less extreme tip.
It's not getting old that's the problem. It's the chronic illness that goes with it because people just aren't making the right lifestyle choices. And it's putting enormous pressure on our healthcare system.
It's estimated 70% of the country's health budget is spent treating over 70s for chronic illness. And most could be prevented just by eating better. Elisa Throden, 10 Eyewitness News.
Calls are growing for the ABC to sack a TV presenter over a controversial social media post on Anzac Day. That story after the break. Plus, a Senate inquiry to hold the federal government to account for allowing residents to remain in the disgraced Oakton aged care home. And the local breeding program putting more furry feet on the beat.
In Peter Hellier's stand-up comedy special, he's tackling the tough topics.
I used to think there was a word in the middle of the alphabet called L-M-N-A-P.
And keeping it real.
Orange is the new black. We're talking about the changes at the White House.
One hot mess tonight on 10.
Entertaining outdoors? That's Louver House. No matter what the season, live life your way with Louver House. Experience our next generation LED louver technology with a free design and quote. Transform the way you live with Louver House.
Sick and tired of the same cold and flu season routine? Ethical Nutrients' exclusive immune defence may help reduce the severity and duration of colds and flu and relieve symptoms naturally. Ethical Nutrients, we can help you.
I've lost 14 kilos with Light and Easy and I feel so much better. It's amazing to know I'm being looked after by Light and Easy. It's so simple. All I do is choose what meals I want and it gets delivered. I wouldn't be doing Light and Easy if I didn't like the taste of it. No matter how busy I am, I'm getting the nutritional content and the food I need. I've got so much more energy. I'm just so much happier with my life.
Drop into your local IGA today for the gigantic sale. Don't miss this week's half-price specials. Plus loads more savings right across the store.
Every baby is precious, and they all have delicate skin, which is up to 30% thinner than adult skin. Introducing our new range, Huggies Ultimate. It's our best care for skin in our most breathable, softest nappies ever. With a unique dry touch layer, it's the hug that cares for their skin while they wear it. Because whatever touches their skin should feel as gentle as your hugs.
Stylish on the outside, functional on the inside. The Pax wardrobe from IKEA, designed so that you can choose the best solution for your family. A stage door, for example. At IKEA, family time is back.
As a local steel dealer, I've got lots of mates and they're all good customers. They trust me to do the right thing by them, but that's what mates do. But we want more, so now we're giving everyone mates rates.
Steel chainsaws from just $2.49, blowers from $2.69, hedge trimmers from $2.99, cleaners from only $1.99, and grass trimmers from just $1.79.
Mates rates now at your local Steel store.
Thanks, mate.
Visit your local Steel dealer. Find yours online.
Is your skin in need of a detox? Try Sukin's Super Greens Detoxifying Facial Scrub from Chemist Warehouse. The Super Green blend of kale, spirulina and parsley helps brighten complexion, while jojoba beads and bamboo gently exfoliate, leaving skin feeling smooth and detoxified. At Chemist Warehouse, Sukin's Super Green Scrub is just $6.99. Revitalise skin the natural way with Sukin. Live, look, feel fabulous every day at Chemist Warehouse.
The most extraordinary season ever. Premiere 7:30 Monday.
5 days to go.
This is Adelaide's 10 Eyewitness News. Tonight's headlines. A Northern Plains grandfather of 5 has been killed after another driver struck his ute head-on while speeding up the wrong side of Port Wakefield Road. That driver also died. South Australian Conservative Senator Corey Bernardi has set his sights firmly on disillusioned Liberal voters at next year's state election after merging his new party with Family First. And a young southern white rhino has died at Monarto Zoo from internal injuries. It's feared the 18-month-old was accidentally crushed in between 2 larger rhinos during rough play. Police say they've completed investigations into 3 staff from the disgraced Oakton aged care home and won't be pursuing them further. As work to relocate the residents continues, the state opposition wants the government to consider the Repat Hospital. But the spotlight is also being turned on the federal government and how it allowed the specialist Oakton facility to pass accreditation checks only recently. Gia Laux has the latest.
Just a month before the state government announced it would shut its Oakton aged care home, the federal government inspected it and allowed it to keep its accreditation.
How the hell did this House of Horrors get the tick of approval from a federal government agency? That's what I want to know, and I'll be asking those questions when this agency turns up before a Senate committee in just a few weeks' time.
The federal ministers refused since last week to answer questions on camera, saying only in a statement that his department had been working to address poor standards at Oakton and imposed sanctions on the Northern Adelaide Health Network, but says it was up to the operators and state government to do more. Senator Xenophon says the blame shifting needs to stop.
These families who have gone through this hell deserve nothing less.
This is a federal issue because nursing homes are right around the country. And if we think for 1 minute, or the federal government thinks for 1 minute, this is an isolated South Australian incident that only the South Australian government needs to take care of, they're kidding themselves.
Stuart Johnston's mother was an Oakton resident. He wants an independent abuse hotline set up. He's also supporting a move to have the coroner now investigate the home.
Absolutely. We should be questioning every death that has occurred.
And the state opposition's still waiting to hear a response from the Premier, who's not back at work until Monday.
Jay Weatherill had the report delivered from the chief psychiatrist on the 10th of April this year. He still hasn't read the report. It's deplorable.
Gia Laux, 10 Eyewitness News.
Police say they've recorded an increase in drivers caught under the influence of alcohol or drugs on Anzac Day. Yesterday's operation stopped more than 3,000 drivers across the state. 12 tested positive to alcohol, with the highest reading 0.196. Of 126 people tested for drugs, 21 returned a positive result. Growing calls for the ABC to sack one of its presenters over what many are calling an insulting post on Anzac Day. She quickly removed the offending comment, but she's still being slammed as disrespectful for her opinion on what "lest we forget" should mean. Letitia Marambio reports.
Yasmin Abdel-Magid isn't afraid to share her views.
It says in Islam that you follow the law.
The 26-year-old is a regular contributor on the ABC, including on Q&A.
That is not my religion.
And the program Australia-wide, which she presents. But now Australians far and wide are up in arms after this comment online. Lest we forget, Manus, Nauru, Syria, Palestine. But after copying it on Facebook, Ms Abdel-Magid amended her post, adding, "It was brought to my attention that my last post was disrespectful, and for that I apologise unreservedly." But that didn't stop the outrage. Malcolm saying, "As an ex-serviceman, I find your comments disloyal, disrespectful and treasonous." Samantha saying, "It is the latest in a long line of outrages you have perpetuated. You are a contemptuous creature with no respect for our country or our culture."
And the Australian people know quite clearly what Anzac Day means, and they don't need some re-engineering by some spiv.
10 News contacted Miss Abdel-Magid a number of times today in the hope that she might be able to come on and explain what she was thinking when she posted the comments, but she never got back to us. There's now an online petition with more than 15,000 signatures calling for her to be sacked. But the ABC is standing firm, saying her views and opinions in that capacity are her own and do not represent those of the ABC.
I don't think those comments were appropriate in the context of Anzac Day, on Anzac Day, and I'd like to think that some lessons have been learnt from this.
Letitia Marambio, 10 Eyewitness News.
The media director of the Australian Olympic Committee has stood down pending an investigation into complaints of bullying. Former AOC Chief Executive Fiona de Jong claims Mike Tancred made threats against her and her family. Mr Tancred has denied any wrongdoing. The news came just hours before an AOC board meeting to discuss turmoil in its leadership. President John Coates is fighting to retain the position, which he's held for 27 years. South Australia Police is hoping a new breeding program will help put more furry feet on the beat. The force today introduced its first local puppy recruits, and Tim Morgan has more.
If police have a problem only a puppy can solve, they're hoping to soon call on the A-Team. 10-week-old German Shepherds Axe, Arco, Ash and Archie, the force's newest recruits.
We'd love to see them in the force. Already they're showing really positive traits of what we look for in our general-purpose working dogs.
The quartet, the first police dogs to be bred in South Australia, signalling a change in tactic locally to try and get more paws enforcing the law.
Historically, we've sort of seen a reasonably high failure rate with bringing dogs that are a bit older into the program. So at least by bringing them in at this stage significantly earlier and having more of an influence over that program, we would hope to see a lot more success than what we've had.
As has been the case in other jurisdictions nationally and overseas.
Particularly with the New Zealand Police, they've got a very successful breeding program. They've had really good success with the program that we're implementing here locally.
There's still plenty of hurdles to jump for these puppies, with around 12 months before they even start the course to become a working police dog.
After just 2 months, it's hard to tell if the four are heading in the right direction, but authorities believe they have already shown signs they could be capable of chasing criminals. Just like their father, Oscar.
We've had great success with him. So, you know, the old under a peach tree you find peaches, so we're sort of hoping that that's going to be the case with this litter.
Tim Morgan, 10 Eyewitness News.
All Australians are being encouraged to find out whether any part of a treasure trove of unclaimed cash belongs to you. More than $1 billion is now with the Securities and Investments Commission, which has a quick and free search available on its Money Smart website. The forgotten cash comes from dormant bank accounts, life insurance, shares and other investments. It just needs to be reunited with its owners. Last year, ASIC paid out more than $87 million to more than 16,000 people. Wouldn't that be nice, Nick?
My hands up. I'm sure there's a bit out there.
Bit of footy around tonight.
There is plenty around, and we'll hear from Rory Sloane and Port youngster Dan Houston after the break. Also not ruled out, the Crows claim Daniel Talia is on track to face the Tigers. And Leap of Faith had a go for home in real style.
Are fundraising chocolates doing more harm than good? That's at 6:30.
No other show changes lives like MasterChef.
I was selling security cameras.
In a premiere special, you'll be amazed at just how much these ex-contestants have achieved.
Done a lot of things I never really thought that I would.
Find out where they are now. 7:30 Thursday.
Paying too much for comprehensive car insurance sucks. But with $100 off for buying online, today is Greg's Day. Don't ignore the obvious. Switch to SGIC for surprisingly good insurance.
Great food lives here.
And great brands too. Rexona deodorant, 250 mils, half price at a fresh $3.49. Pepsi, Solo or Sunkist, 2 litre, only $1.79. That's half price. And put the kettle on. Makona Super Premium 150 grams, only $10.99.
Great food lives here, Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Olympic Industries have been building South Australian dreams for almost 50 years. DIY or professionally installed and built to last. Using the quality and strength of Blue Scope steel, Olympic Industries will take care of design, approvals, right through to completion. When it comes to outdoor home improvement excellence and solutions, there's only one brand to remember, Olympic Industries. Visit us at the Home Living Expo or one of our display sites. But hurry, sail on for 1 week only. Olympic Industries, built to last.
Hi everyone, I'm Nerida Ford and I'm here to tell you about the incredible MS Game Changer Lottery Grand Prize. For the first time ever, the winner will get to choose between a stunning $1.6 million Metricon home like this one or $1.5 million in cash. Live mortgage-free in your dream home, built by Australia's most loved home builder, or take a huge amount of cash instead. Imagine that. The total prize package is valued at over $2.5 million, including luxury cars, overseas holidays, home electronics, and much more. And you have an amazing 1 in 15 chance to win big. So visit msgamechanger.com.au to get your tickets today. Great prizes, great odds, and all for a great cause. Funds raised by the MS Game Changer Lottery benefit South Australians living with MS.
You know, you only get one body, and it needs to be looked after. Apia Health Insurance is especially designed for the over 50s. Call Apia and switch today.
Will Kate
We're losing him, let's go!
lose the love of her life?
I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
This Is Us returns next Wednesday.
It's good evening. Well, despite limping from the field in the opening seconds of Saturday night's win over the Suns, the Crows believe Daniel Talia is a chance to take on the Tigers on Sunday. The All-Australian fullback is hoping to take part in the club's main training session tomorrow.
Looks can sometimes be deceiving. On Saturday, Daniel Talia looked cooked, but today the Crows say he's back on track.
I think he might have a little run around today, and he's just said before he's been getting up to a pretty good speed.
There's really positive news early in the week that he's recovered quite well. We expect him to do some of the training with the team, and we'll test his availability for the weekend.
The Crows claim Riley Knight's hammy is also at the minor end of the scale.
It doesn't look too serious at this stage. We'll manage his loads across the week. At this stage, we don't expect him to miss too much football.
If Talia doesn't come up, Don Pike is likely to swing Andy Otten back into defence.
Nicknamed himself Sally's at the moment, just filling all the gaps we need.
Josh Jenkins continues to up his workload on the training track as he looks to prove those cracked ribs have healed. The player's promising to get physical
at the main training session tomorrow.
I think he's been doing a bit of that with some of the fitness staff, but we'll certainly test him out on track tomorrow with a few of the boys.
The undefeated Tigers await on Sunday afternoon. Sloan admitting Dustin Martin's hot form and fend-off will take some stopping.
Yeah, our tackling coach today said if I get fended off from him, I'll be buying him a coffee, so... yeah, we'll have to see how I go. With
a rampaging Revolt striking career-best form and a midfield feeding off a ruckman dubbed the Widowmaker, there's plenty to like about the Tigers, meaning Sunday shapes as a beauty. Does indeed. Well, after being promoted from the rookie list, Port youngster Dan Houston has had no problem adjusting to AFL footy, playing all 5 games in the power defence. As Max Burford explains, the Victorian-born 19-year-old has identified one key area he's hoping to improve, though, starting this weekend against the Lions.
When injuries hit Port's backline late last year, Ken Hinkley put the spotlight on a first-year rookie forward to fill the gap.
Yeah, I was sort of made to do it. I'd never really played there and I just sort of gave it a crack, went down there with an open mind and yeah, it's paid off.
It certainly has. In his 5 AFL games so far, Houston has shown a knack for reading the play and uses the ball well. Now, he just wants to add a little more grunt to his game.
Definitely as a young bloke, I'm still trying to improve on it. Especially with the bigger bodies and stuff. It's something that I've got to improve on in the gym and then take it out on the weekends.
Growing up in Melbourne, Houston and Jack Silvani became best mates playing juniors together. Last week, under the bright lights of Friday night footy, the pair once again found themselves standing next to each other.
Yeah, it was a bit surreal playing against him on the weekend. I'd grown up playing with him since I was about 8 and played all through junior ranks with him, and he's probably one of my best mates, and to play on him, never thought it would have happened. I didn't think I'd ever be a backman, and you know, the way it turned out it was pretty weird.
Awaiting Houston and the power defence this week is another young and talented forward line, led by round 5 Rising Star nominee Eric Hipwood.
I guess you're doing something right if you're getting awards like that, but you don't think too much about it at the time.
Instead, Hipwood has the undersized power backline in his sights as his Lions look to halt a 4-game losing streak this Saturday.
If I hate losing, even on the weekend, I just can't stand losing. I hate it. So I guess our competitive nature, I take it back to when I was a kid.
Max Burford, 10 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Max. Well, Eddie Maguire has backed under fire Magpies coach Nathan Buckley, saying at Collingwood they don't turn on their own. Now, senior players have also rallied behind Bucks. Rob Waters has more.
Collingwood's worst fears have been realised. The already under pressure Nathan Buckley has made a horror start to the year. At 1-4, finals look out of reach, and so does a contract extension.
It's up to us. You know, he can't do any more than he's doing, and I think everyone that plays and pulls on the jump every week has got 100% trust in what we do and what Bucks and his coaches do.
The players are trying to take responsibility.
Of course, I mean, he's not out there on the field, we are.
And Buckley, of course, has the full support of the board.
And we will rally together. Now, whether we get the results, time will tell. But I tell you what we won't do. We'll never give up. We'll never dog it. We won't turn on our own.
In terms of what everyone's saying, he won't get sacked. Like, that's absolutely not going to happen. So, we're with him the whole way. We're, we back him as a coach.
No one can question the players' effort, but they continually win plenty of the ball and then butcher their many opportunities.
We're not far off, but we're a mile off.
Buckley says the players are being told the right things.
We've actually been beaten by what we've known. Too fast against St Kilda, gave them too much transition and didn't protect corridor enough against an Essendon side that love to go back through there.
And Brad Scott has put his coaching future on the agenda, claiming he'll always put the Kangaroos' interests ahead of his own.
And we have open and frank conversations all the time. And I'm sure when the time's right, if they feel, look, you're not the best contracted or not, if I'm not the best fit, then we'll sit down and amicably part ways.
Rob Waters, 10 Eyewitness News.
OK, Adelaide United's solid overseas form continued last night with a gutsy 3-3 draw against Gambra-Osaka. But as Tim Morgan explains, the effort could be in vain after other results didn't quite fall our way.
Missing 3 key pillars in defence, the Reds' Asian Champions League campaign looked set to crumble.
And what a strike! What a player! And Adelaide United into all sorts of bother. 2-0.
Gambra-Osaka's intensity slipped after the early onslaught and Adelaide seized its chance.
Look at Therio! Adelaide United right back in this one.
Therio's finish was clinical. Jordan O'Doherty's level at the start of the second half was...
Oh, so sweet!
The visitors' discipline threatened to derail them.
And that will be a penalty.
Ben Garuccio, what was he thinking?
Yasuhito Endo's shocker from the penalty spot gave the Reds a reprieve, but they didn't escape so lucky from their next defensive mistake.
It's an own goal from Michael Moroney.
The Reds rookies appeared out on their feet late in the contest. United, though, hadn't exhausted all they had before injury time.
Well, the header, a goal! Baba Diawara! They have got big hearts.
We still got the point away from home, and it's very difficult to get the points away from home, so we're very happy with that.
Jordan O'Doherty will miss the Reds' final group game with suspension, a clash the Reds must win and hope other results go their way if they're to progress to the tournament's knockout stage, after dropping to third in Group H last night following Jeju United's 2-1 win over group leaders Jiangsu FC. Tim Morgan, 10 Eyewitness News.
OK, Chelsea big guns. Eden Hazard, Gary Cahill and Diego Costa were back in the starting side and all scored as the Blues edged closer to the Premier League title, beating Southampton 4-2.
Costa, Hazard, Pedro, Costa! It's lovely! It's lovely, lovely, lovely! That is the goal of would-be champions!
Yeah, Costa snared a brace to notch up 51 EPL goals as Chelsea moved 7 points clear of second-place Tottenham on the ladder. Well, Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn have finally faced off ahead of the much-anticipated Battle of Brisbane in July. Now, it's being promoted as the biggest fight in Aussie history, but it's had possibly the tamest boxing press conference ever, both fighters wishing each other good luck.
Our job, that our responsibility being a boxer, to make the people happy, make the fans happy.
I just hear him talk about fighting me, it just makes it all come to life. I can stop pinching myself now.
Yes, Horn's undefeated in 16 fights. Pacquiao has lost just 6 in 67. Well, Aussie Joe Ingles was kept scoreless for Utah in Game 5 of the NBA playoffs, but the Jazz still won 96-92 over the Clippers.
Here's Gobert. Wow, Joe Ingles finds him in the slot.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward bounced back from a bout of food poisoning to start with 27 points and 8 rebounds. The Jazz can now clinch the series with a victory in Game 6, and that's in Salt Lake City. OK, we're off to the Major League Baseball, where Chris Coughlin's wearing the blue uniform like Superman, and today he tried to fly just like him. The Toronto Blue Jays outfielder was running for home when he made this spectacular leap of faith over the catcher.
An incredible slide by Coughlin. One of the most unbelievable slides you'll ever see.
It was a good one. Coughlin's super dive inspired his team to a 6-5 win over the Cardinals. Righto, this may not look like the greatest start to a sprint you've ever seen, but let's give it some context. India's Man Kaur is 101 years of age and is the oldest competitor at the World Masters Games in New Zealand. Her time for the 100 metres, a mere 74 seconds. Yes, Kaur was declared the winner as there's no other entrants in the over 100 category. That's definitely cause for celebration and also our play of the day. Good on her for getting out there. That's sport. See you tomorrow.
Gold, silver and bronze. Thank you, Nick. Jodie Oddie is with us for the weather for the rest of the week, and she'll have your detailed forecast coming up next.
The Coalition MPs push to change the national anthem tonight, 6:30.
Pete may be the most underestimated contestant.
I'm a crane operator, so a little bit different to cooking.
Because Pete's food is extraordinary. Delicious.
Will Pete smash the competition?
You know he's a crane operator. MasterChef premieres Monday.
With Tips, investing in property has never been easier or more affordable. If you had $5 a week spare, just $5, you could own one of these sensational apartments in Prospect. $5 will get you any apartment on any floor, even the penthouse. Plus, for a limited time, you'll pay 0 stamp duty. 2-bedroom apartments, secure, undercover parking, ready to live in, all for just $5 a week. Don't believe it? Call Tips now.
Dreamland's giving it back, South Australia, with stacks of cash. Sensational deals. Buy selected big brand mattresses and get Dreamland cash to spend on your dream bedroom furniture or Manchester. Stop dreaming and start shopping for your new bedroom. Dreamland.
Come and have a look out here.
Who are all these people?
They're all RAA staff.
And they all live in South Australia?
Yep, more than 850 of them. It's one of the reasons RAA has a 95% member satisfaction rating.
Stacey! Hey! 1, 2,
You know Tiny?
4, 5. He's in my dance class.
Right. See, we know South Australia. That's why we can do more for you. Let's go join the rest, shall we?
Can Bull win this case?
You son of a...
When the whole town's against him?
I always hated you.
New Bull, Sunday.
Coming up on Family Feud, we'll be asking 2 Aussie families to name a reason that someone might cancel a date. Let's see what they all say up next.
Time for a look at the weather now. And Jodie Oddie, it's been very chilly across Adelaide today, but not where you are.
No, Kate, it has been the coldest day in Adelaide for 6 months, but not in this beautiful Metricon home, which is all part of the MS Game Changer Lottery. So make sure you race out and get your ticket. It has all kicked off today. All right, first up tonight, let's have a look at our extreme weather photo. And this one's a beauty. It comes from the dawn service yesterday down at Victor Harbour. So thank you so much to Tim Dawson. And if you do have a weather photo that you'd like to send us, as always, the address is on your screen. Well, today it reached a top of 16 degrees in Adelaide. The low was 10, and right now it is a very fresh 13 degrees. Let's have a look across the suburbs now. We hit a top of 17 in Elizabeth and also Glenelg. 16 for Murray Bridge and Noarlunga. It was chilly in the hills. It only reached 13 degrees in Mount Barker. Across the state, it reached 19 in Coober Pedy and Ceduna, 18 in Roxby Downs, Port Pirie and Maitland. 17 was the top for Woomera and Port Augusta, 16 in Broken Hill and Whyalla. Cooler in Clare, 13 was the top there. Looking further south now, Renmark and Port Lincoln reached 17. 16 was the top for Kingscote, Victor Harbour and Keith. 14 in Nuriokpa and Naracoorte and 13 in Mount Gambier. Interstate, a wintry blast has hit right across the southeast with some very cold temperatures, and Falls Creek and Mount Hotham received 5 centimetres of snow. As for the capitals, it's been a wet day in Brisbane, Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne. Perth was the place to be, sunny and 25 degrees. On the satellite photo, there's speckled cloud crossing the south with unstable cold air, and that's causing scattered showers. That cold air is behind a vigorous cold front that's brought frosty gales and showers to our state, Victoria and Tasmania. Interstate, a very cold night ahead for Canberra, dropping to 0 degrees. Elsewhere tomorrow, a sunny day for Brisbane and Perth, partly cloudy in Sydney and showers in Melbourne. Back in our state, there'll be patchy early morning frost in the Flinders Ranges and the slight chance of showers over the agricultural area and west coast. Maximum temperatures will reach 18 in Ceduna and Port Pirie. 17 is the top for Coober Pedy, Roxby Downs, Port Augusta, Whyalla and Maitland. 16 in Woomera, 15 in Broken Hill and 13 in Clare. Port Lincoln's heading for 18 degrees, 17 in Renmark, Victor Harbour and Kingscote, 16 in Keith and 15 in Nuriokpa, Naracoorte and Mount Gambier. Let's have a look at our local waters now. Winds southerly 10 to 15 knots, turning southwesterly during the morning with seas up to 1 metre. Across the suburbs, it should reach 17 in Elizabeth and Noarlunga and Murray Bridge, 18 in Glenelg and 14 in Mount Barker. In Adelaide, after an overnight low of 10 degrees, there's just a slight chance of a shower tomorrow and it'll be cloudy. We're heading for a top of 17 degrees. Looking ahead, there's the chance of showers again on Friday and on Saturday, but it should stay dry and cloudy on Sunday. 20 degrees for the end of the week and Monday with a shower or two, and it'll be a little cooler for Tuesday. Kate, that's it for me tonight from this beautiful $1.6 million home. Have a great night.
Thank you, Jodie. That's Adelaide's 10 Eyewitness News. Good night.